The first tip is don't look at your hands. Now, did you ever have teachers try to keep you from looking at the keyboard while typing, learning on the computer? It's the same thing here, but it's a lot more important. You can't be looking at the music if you're looking at your hands. And this takes a long time to work on because it's largely tied to technique and being able to execute much of what you see on autopilot. You need to feel the distances of the piano. So the octave or like what is the sixths. And I would suggest finding easy music and forcing yourself to play through it while consciously feeling the distances of your fingers and how they need to move and the shapes they're taking for certain chords and so on. And even if you can't keep up in tempo or rhythm, that's really not what's important about this exercise. What's important is that you're making yourself aware of the way your hands move to make the changes without you looking at your hands. Tip number 2 is to read ahead. This one goes into the broader category for sight reading on any instrument really, and you should always be reading a little ahead of what you're playing. So if you're playing this chord right now, your eyes should already be right here. And your brain should be figuring out what comes next faster than it comes, while what you're playing is really just this automatic playing. And if you look at the skill of not looking at your hands, you can understand why it's so important to make this possible. So if you're looking at your hands and working, you cannot possibly be reading ahead. Tip number 3 is theory. You need to know at least some basic level of theory to make this work. You should be able to see a clump of notes and immediately know that's a B7. Your hand should know the shape to make for the inversion, and you shouldn't really have to give this too much thought. Additionally, knowing theory gives your brain a context for what might be coming up in the music. If you're in the key of F, you're going to have a lot of F and B chords, and as well maybe some C chords that you might be playing with a 7, and then it goes back to F very often. And so your mind and your hands will be used to the key and what notes the key implies and the shapes you're going to need for it. Tip number 4 is to just do it a lot. For me personally, sight reading has always been a huge pain. I was never good at it, and I have to practice it every day for a significant amount of time really, just to get any better. And I don't think anything really develops more slowly than sight reading. It just takes a lot of time, and it's essentially pattern recognition. So you don't have time to think about the notes in a given chord. Your brain pretty much has to see what's coming and then get there instantly. The more you do it, the more chords you will be used to seeing, the more rhythms and styles you'll be comfortable with, and the more keys you'll feel good about. So sight reading is a great skill if you plan to play from sheet music, whether it's difficult or easy. And if you want to go even deeper on the basics of the piano, I'm giving you my new course, Piano Fundamentals, completely for free. All you have to do is click on the first link in the description. And I'll see you in the next lesson.